Okay, so we wanted to do two things now. First, we want to kind of just quickly summarize what came up in the panel meetings, and then we want to show you two short videos about IIASA and the opportunities that you will have engaging with IIASA. We will start with those videos, and then we will do each moderator of the panel will just come up to report the main themes that came and some thoughts. So let me start with a great video that is talking about IIASA and Israel collaboration. Researchers in the room, but also for their mentors and advisors to know that this program exists, because I think this is really important that all of the researchers are promoting the student to attend and use these resources. And this will be a motivation for when we talk about, soon about the topics that came up, and then it can give you, something to think about what to apply for the next round of their Young Scientist program.
The YSSP is a 3-month mentored research program. It's aimed for students in their last years of their PhD program. And they come and work with the IIASA scientists on an agreed-upon project that is typically one of the chapters of their dissertation. And they get a chance to really do mentored and independent research while they're here.
It's been really special to come here and really get a lot of attention put on my project and my work, and help from famous scientists. It's been super cool.
At IIASA, one of the biggest benefit I got was the collaborative environment, and also how different departments talk with each other. From a research standpoint, how approachable the researchers are kind of makes it easy for me to quickly get stuff done.
It's just fascinating people who research quite different things, but then come together and talk and exchange on these things. And I think that is really mutually beneficial for everyone involved here.
The human perspective is just fun. It's very intense, so be prepared.
We're taking candidates up to the mountains and also show them Vienna. We're organizing tours to really get them to familiarize themselves with the country, to get lots of chances to get to know each other, to bond, and to get in touch with staff.
The people here are so kind and so nice. They're just so willing to sit down with you and share their insights and troubleshoot, or even just chat about life.
The castle here is a pretty cool research environment, so it really allows you to escape all the chaos around you and focus on your work and on your research.
You should apply to the YSSP if you're interested in getting excellent academic mentorship and really great exchange with PhD students from multiple disciplines and all over the world.
You will meet a lot of new people that do similar things to you, and that can be a very useful way to start collaboration or even just learn something.
It's affordable, it's fun, and plenty to do.
Do great science and have ice cream breaks in between.
Great. Okay, so what I would like to do now is to call all of the panel moderators to come and just give us like a 3-4 minute summary of the main things that came up. Okay. So Alon, Joel, and Adas and Isaac, please come here and we can do. Oh, you want to do one after? Let's have chairs and do it. You go first. You want to go first, though?
So I'll start.
Sure.
Okay. So I've been in the moderating the water panel. Enjoy all the speakers and the attendance and the, for me, very fruitful discussion at the end. To share some of the lessons that came up. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Should we start?
Yes.
I will share the lessons from the water panel. So I think maybe start with the challenge that I've raised up there was the contradiction between the uniqueness and diversity of Israel as a case study, water-wise, and the relatively unique scale of it as a small country with a small hydrological basin versus the modeling scale that we use at IIASA, that would be our CYN model, the community water model. The highest resolution is 1 kilometer, and then it may be contradicting to simulating some of the processes, specifically for soil erosion, related process or water quality. And then on the other hand, I think the main lessons were that, so first, there are already quite of existing tools that we can use, including a nested modeling approach starting bottom up with small scale, high resolution model, not necessarily grid-based, but maybe other models, and then connect them to our own high resolution, kind of a coarser resolution model that operates on a different scale. So it could be like a cities model is a different type of water use, like Iran from Technion showed. And then could be agents in the cities, including agent-based modeling already in place in many groups in IIASA and also in the water group. Getting decision, this can pump up back to the kind of regional scale, basin hydrology, to figure out how cities interact with the with watersheds and with regional and national hydrology. Water resource management. So this is just one example for some existing tools that we already kind of developed and just need to fine-tune for a project. Other stuff that I think are worth mentioning. So we can come up with kind of innovative research approaches to tackle different questions. Developing different tools and methods that will fit the question, the case study. And this is actually something we do in IIASA and Water Group, that every project needs its own development and extra addition to the model. But maybe the key idea is that we need to talk with each other. So this is kind of a call, I think, from my side, from Water Group, and maybe from IIASA as a whole, for researchers in Israel, for policy officials in Israel. The questions need to be kind of put out there on the table. We can discuss the question, discuss the things we need to solve, and then we can come up with the solution, with the model we can use or develop. And then how to do it would be first by direct communication. Just write to us, set up meetings and talk online today. Some suggestions included online seminars, like bidirectional online seminars. You can do seminars in your group. To your students and researchers, you can do seminars now just for exchange of information and getting some ideas. Of course, development of proposals will follow up. Another idea was a kind of a ad hoc workshop for proposal development. So if we already have a connection, we can maybe put an intensive effort of developing the proposal. It can be on site, preferably, but also online. I think this would be my main points from the worker group. Thank you.
Okay. So, hi everyone. It's a pleasure to moderate the session this morning. I was in charge of the biodiversity, so I think one of the main focus of our understanding, I think, is that biodiversity actually touches on many, many aspects. It touches on food issues, it touches on ecosystem, it touches on climate change, and also carbon sequestration. Just to give you sort of like an idea of the breadth of kind of talks that we had in our session. So Piero Viscotti from IIASA gave us sort of a very large and broad overview on the various different models of biodiversity on a very large scale, and that sort of put the issue in a very, very macro level of understanding of biodiversity. And then we had various different talks that were touching on various different biodiversity on a more micro level. We had Uwe Gamon talk about land use conflicts and managements in Israel, very specific land on a plot level issues. Ola Moshe was talking about restoring riparian ecosystems, again, touching on areas in Israel that these kind of restorations are crucial. We had Francesca talk about heterogeneous farmlands under area-based conservation measures in the EU. We had Yael Mendelik from the Faculty of Agriculture in the Hebrew University talk about the importance of pollinators in the context of food security and ecosystem services. And then we had Roten Zenion from IIASA talk about a tool for analyzing and forecasting agro-commodity prices. So just sort of like give you the very large scale of what biodiversity can mean and how we kind of touch on it from various different angles. I think from my point of view, and I'd be happy if other members of the panel contribute here, I think the understanding that the interactions of biodiversity on very small scale and very high level scales occur, and we need to bridge those. So, we started a conversation touching on those, where the modelers touch biodiversity on a very high level, and then there's a lot of happening understanding and information coming from very small scale plots level. How do we get that into the model and vice versa? And what kind of knowledge can come from the macro level to really get us to understand what could be done on the micro level? So these kind of various levels, I think, was one of the main themes. More of a challenges and ideas, how we can integrate levels of knowledge at various different scales. How can we get it to form new knowledge? That's one key point from our discussion. Another one was actually more of an idea. So I'm not really familiar with IIASA that much and the kind of projects and collaborations that occur. And this kind of occurred to me more afterwards that there's a lot of tools to make these collaborations work. So my sort of like idea is that we actually spend more time engaging in these ideas and maybe think about future workshops where we just sit and talk and discuss the project rather than doing it sort of like a conference where each one talks about what they do and then we have less time actually breaking up these ideas that started coming up, and then, okay, we have to go now and move on. So I think we should spend more time facilitating these kind of dialogues and spend more time in sort of getting to know. We could do all sorts of facilitation and communication, sort of like one-on-one, two-on-two, and then start getting ideas. And I think that would help us more break down these kind of multidisciplinary, large-scale, small-scale differences and find ways to collaborate. So these are sort of my takeaway messages. If any of my people in my want to add anything? Okay, so thank you.
We're waiting for the lab because we need to go soon to wrap up here soon. So we will leave all those discussions for the lunchtime. Yes.
Yeah, Isaac Sasson. I was moderating the demography panel. Just to summarize briefly, we heard from Professor Wolfgang Lutz yesterday and this morning about the importance of education for demographic outcomes in Israel and elsewhere. I think it's quite similar. And then we discussed the characteristics, the unique characteristics of Israel from the line of speakers, Alex Weinreb, Eliyahu Ben Moshe, Daniel Gottlieb, and about what's unique demographically about Israel. It's a country that combines very high life expectancy, very high fertility, young population structure, age structure, very high human capital. At the same time, if we think about the future of productivity and economic growth in Israel, it remains to be seen, because once you pull all these parameters together, they work in intricate ways, as IIASA research shows us, and of course the research done here in Israel. So there's, for the coming years, there's definitely also a lot of challenges. In terms of opportunities for demographic research in Israel, we heard from Analia Schlosser about a new data center from basically a joint endeavor from between Tel Aviv University and the Central Bureau of Statistics. And hopefully, once it opens here at the university, we will have access to top-notch data, which is quite unique, I have to say. There's a handful of countries, and hopefully this will, we have a vision of turning Israel into a model country, like countries like Sweden, which are quite small, but get a lot of international attention in terms of research, largely because of their high-quality data. Israel has very similar high-quality data, population registry data, tax data, educational data, and hopefully we can get access to that more easily with our colleagues from the Central Bureau of Statistics to facilitate a lot of this research here as well. And I think the collaboration with IIASA has a lot of potential to basically improve training in demography, which is currently lacking in Israel in demography, and to train the next generation of Israeli demographers. And hopefully there's more to follow beyond this symposium today. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, so I will use the few last minutes we have just to briefly summarize about the energy and transport session that we had. So basically, it was very interesting. We brought speakers from different angles, working on similar scenarios, but from different technological, engineering, economics, behavior aspects. So we discussed together with Paul the ability to connect with the message and other models, and either to really connect it and interface with the model, or just to those research outcomes will serve as a constraint or any other insight into the message model as a reality check for the Israeli specific condition. We also discussed the ability of and the opportunity for social scientists to join the discussion and the research related to energy and climate change and transport. And there's a lot of opportunities within IIASA and within all of those departments that are working on it currently and in Israel. And I would just summarize that I think that both sides can gain. We can contribute, we can learn a lot from IIASA, and we can contribute to their modeling work and vice versa. So this is, as we said, just the beginning. And we're looking forward to keep fostering those connections. And Albert, do you want to say something? The last?
Yes, just 2 sentences. I know standing between you and us, so I'll very quickly. First of all, just from my side, thank you to the University of Tel Aviv for hosting us here. Really appreciate it, Merit and Zita and everybody else. We enjoyed our time here. Clearly, I sense the need for further discussion and exploration of possibilities and opportunities. And, we have a platform at IIASA called IIASA Connect. I will ask Sergey to put everybody in touch with the platform IIASA Connect so that they can use it for further discussion, workshopping, and so on in a way that's safe and secure. It's not out in the public media, and it will give you an opportunity to use that moving forward. So from our side, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here, and we look forward to seeing you at IIASA or here again very soon. Thank you very much.